Mm-hmm. We black, all black everything. Thinkers Plight. Tavistock Institute. Chapter Tell Lies to Your Vision. Let's go, man. Let's go. Like, you share, subscribe, and put your thumbs up like you're hitchhiking. You know how we do. Custom made, of course. Remember that. History don't lie. Well, you know, his story do, but true stories don't. We getting through it, y'all. Appreciate you checking us out and sticking with it. Moving right along. Chapter 5, Tell Lies to Your Vision. Once again, I do not own the rights to this music. Peace to the kings. You got Method Man and NAS, Nas. Rolling right on. Thinkers Fight. You know how we do. We keep it cracking. Deeper, y'all. Powerful information. We continue. It says Tavistock Institute for Human Relations is the psychological warfare arm of the British Royal. It is the world's most important institution for manipulation of population. Hmm. And y'all want to give these people credit for some nonsensical stuff, man. Get out of here. Anyhow, I'm gonna say that again because a lot of people don't like to hear the truth. I'm having some technical difficulties too. I apologize. We're gonna get it right though. I said it says Tavistock Institute for Human Relations is the psychological warfare arm of the British royal family, located in the suburb of London. It is the world's most important institution for manipulation of population. Thinking it doesn't happen. Do your own diligence. Don't take my word once again. According to the official history of Tavistock Clinic, quote, in 1920, under its founder, Dr. Hugh Crichton Miller's leadership, the clinic made a significant contribution to the understanding of the traumatic effects of shell shock, end quote. In the 1930s, the Tavistock Institute developed a symbolic relationship with the Frankfurt Institute for social research. Their collaboration led them to analyze the culture of a population from a neo-Freudian standpoint. Nazism just happened to have been one of its patients on the psychiatric couch. In a nutshell, Hitler was the prototype of Jungian man who surrendered his reason to his unconscious and who welcomed divine madness as Jung himself advised. Jung had impressed by Hitler's meteoric rise to power and recognized that the dictator, quote, must have taped some extraordinary, yeah, tapped, excuse me, must have tapped some extraordinary. For example, in March 1934, Jung was writing of the formidable phenomenon of National Socialism on which the whole world gazes with astonishment. Jung goes on to suggest that the Aryan unconscious has a quote higher potential than the Jews, end quote. Hitler, Jung wrote, quote, had literally set all Germany on its feet, end quote. In a 1932 essay, Jung had celebrated the leader, pro, leader personality of the Führer as against the ever secondary lazy masses who cannot take the least move of a demigod. In 1936, Jung perceived Hitler to be of the previously repressed volcanic ancient Germanic god element. Quote, the impressive thing about, the impressive thing about the German phenomenon is that one man who is obviously possessed has infected a whole nation to such an extent that everything set in motion has started rolling on its course toward perdition. End quote. Jung was unaware of the Nazis' true nature. Hardly in 1938, 5 years after Hitler's rise to power, Jung classified Hitler as visionary. And a truly inspired shaman or medicine man whose power was, quote, magical rather than political, end quote, a spiritual vessel. First man to tell every German what he has been thinking and feeling all along in his unconscious about German fate. Jung added that Hitler's power is not political, it's magic. As France surrendered to Germany in 1940, the date the summer solstice did not pass unnoticed by Jung and other Nazi mystics. Jung cried ecstatically, quote, "It is the dawning of the age of Aquarius." It's rather fine irony that Carl Jung, of all people who coined that phrase, made current so much later with the rise of the New Age. Needless to say, the Nazi represented but a minority of the German population, even when they were in power. Wow. What about the so-called, quote, good Germans who went along with Hitler's terror? How was this done? Was it done? The same way. It is being done to us today and every day through the mass media dissemination of information or misinformation. You you gotta decide. You have to judge it. You gotta do your own research because everything you learn, most likely growing up, all lies. We're gonna leave it right there because we got all the way to 7 minutes already. I don't know how that happened, but hey, it did. We're gonna come back. Tavistock Institute, all black everything, Thinkers Flight. Mm-hmm. Big dreams, many streams, y'all. Let's go. Like you share, subscribe, and put your thumbs up. Like you hitchhike. Come back. Peace and love.